Chi. Good morning. This is Wizard Chi. Um, Today I want to talk on life force. Um, there's a life force in everything. And even in vitamins there's life force. That what's left of the life force is still in them. The difference between there's life force is not all one. We do not have all the same life force, and we're not running on one life force out there. Everybody, when you're born, between them, when parents have babies, they have a new life force is born into this world, and that life force determines what that individual will be like, and that individual is a unique life force. When you get the vitamins and minerals, you're getting different. What they're doing is they're taking the life force out of a different thing, and they're using different things in that life force. That's how they determine whether there's a life force or not, because the vitamin is active. If you remove the enzymes in the life force, you're not removing the life force. You're just removing a part of the life force. And so I don't believe in this philosophy of we are all one. We are not all one. We all have life forces, but those life forces are all different and unique. There are about 1 million and billions of life forces out there. And so we operate on our life force system, but we are different life forces. We are unique life forces. We are individuals, and there will never be another one like us in this universe. So we have to stand up for ourselves and to go out there and take advantage of the life forces that we can get through our foods and our vitamins and our minerals. And everything like the fillers and the things that deplete the life force and the vitamins, and so they don't act so effective. But if you're getting any effect from your vitamins, it's because you're receiving the life force from them. In the same way with minerals and supplements. That's all due to your life force energy and your power. And what depletes it, if the vitamin is dead, you're not getting any life force from it whatsoever at all. It's a dead life force, and it will only bring death upon you. And those things that life dead forces bring dead forces, and life force bring life force. And we are all an individual life force. You can pick up different energies from life forces. You can pick up the different life forces, which can help you to make better improve your life force in your life. But there's also death forces out there that bring upon us death, and are daily wearing us down and tearing us down and bringing upon us like radiation, and brings us down, and it's the death force out there. So it's really alive, and it's the death force is out there, and you have to fight up against it and take all the life forces into your body that you can get through the best vitamins and minerals. The best vitamins and minerals are living minerals that don't have fillers, binders, and other things in them that could compromise the life force in your body and take it away. I take a lot of vitamins and minerals, but a lot of vitamins especially, and supplements. And if I find any energy in them, it's because there's a life force in them, a life force that goes forth. And we are not all one life force. That's a bunch of bull. We are not all one. There's difference. We are all a life force. We all have life force in us. That's the only thing that makes us one. But those life forces are all different, so we are not communicating through subdivisionally, not being there and through one life force center. It's not working that way. We are not all one. We are a life force energy, and we live on life forces and feed off of life forces, and those life forces strengthen our life and make us stronger and more effective and more powerful. And the more further we get from those life forces, and the further that we take those death forces, like preservatives and foods and chemicals and foods, the further we get into those, the more into death we get. And then we start to see diseases pop up in the body. And those diseases take our life away because they are a death force. And that death force does exist. And it's out there. And it's really going to get you unless you protect yourself and go to the life forces in life and the living foods and the more powerful energy. Those are all foods that the only reason they work, any vitamins or minerals will work, even the only reason that prescription drugs work, anything have any effect on you is because of that life force. But there's also a death force in them, a death force that is so powerful that it'll wipe out your life forever. Cancer is a death force. Diabetes is a death force. We live in a world where there are death forces and life forces. There's good and evil. And those forces, those life forces can improve you and make it on it, but you gotta go for those life forces. Even what you can send out death forces by what you say to other people. You can send out death forces, but we are not all the same. And we all have enemies, and we all have people that disagree with us, and we all have things that we do not like. We all have things we hate, whether you like it or not. We're not all love beings. There's things that we hate, and there's things that we love. Go for the things that you love. The things that you hate, you turn away. There's foods you don't like. There's foods you hate, and you just don't want to eat those foods. So hate is not all bad, and neither is love all good. Because if you eat things you hate, and you eat those chemicals and those dead life forces, that you should be hating those chemicals and not liking those life forces, because those are the death forces that'll take your life away forever and diminish you from the face of this planet and make you of nothing but one being that doesn't have any purpose in being. And those death forces are out there to control and take your life over and make you just as miserable as possible. It does exist, it's out there, and it is a life force, a death force that will take away everything that you really stand for, and it will try to get you to kill yourself and murder yourself and take away. And this, and like the people that are making all these bad foods, they're sending out a death force, and that death force can kill you and wipe you out. People that want to control the population are sending out death forces. I'm not for environmentalists. I've heard them in the past, and all they're into is eugenics. And they're into eugenics and wiping out this planet, taking away people's life forces by controlling them. And all this put chemicals in your food and the toxic agriculture with fertilizers and GMOs and all that sort of things are death forces. And they might think they're being good, or they might just want to control the population and send out a death force for you and wipe you off the face of this earth. So be careful out there with what you do, because there's death forces and there's life forces, and those death forces can wipe you off the face of this planet. Those life forces can save you, and they're your only hope. So be as close to natural or organic or whatever you want to call it, Demeter certification or organic certification, and get your life from life forces that are alive and living. Even in cooked food, there's still a little life force left, or there wouldn't be any energy in the food. We are not all one. We are just individuals. We are unique individual life forces that were born from two parents that made us unique creature, a unique individual, a unique creature that is so powerful that no one can control us, but they seek to control us and take our life forces and our energy away from us and wipe us into extinction. So they send out their death forces. Their death forces are in what they say and what they do. Eugenetics, and taking away your energy and powers and your strength and your freedom and your right to be the individual you were born to be. You have that power, you have that energy, you have that resources to do what is right, to go with the life forces and protect your life forces, but they take your senses away and deceive you and take all your freedoms and rights away through they'll give you a free thing. Oh, here, take your little free thing. It'll save you. Free thing, free meal. Any free meals are poison. If they're free, they're poison. That's what I found out. You just take it. Any free meal you get at the church is full of preservatives. It's full of preservatives and chemicals and things, and they will bring on cancer and disease on your body. The ones that don't bring on cancer and disease on your body don't have those chemicals and preservatives in them. And they're not GMOs. But all these churches out there put forth chemicals and things in their foods. And so they're unknowingly sending out a life force, a death force, to take away your life away and to ruin it and to destroy it forever. And they don't even know what they're doing because they're nothing but sheeple. They just follow along and they don't understand it from birth. You don't know nothing until you're told it. And once you're told it, are you told the right thing? Are you told it? The right thing, does everything people say the right thing? They only know what they've learned. And they've only know what they heard. And so the media is such a corrupt system because all you get your news from is what they say and how they interpret it and how they see it and how they believe in it. And that's not exactly the way you see it and you believe in it and you understand it. But they put out a picture there that this is one way it is. And is that the way it is? Is that really the way it is? No, that's not the way it is. If you weren't there and you saw what happened and you didn't see what happened on the news and you weren't there firsthand and see what happened, you get a copy. And you get that copy, and that copy as it's spread out, you take a word and something and spread it in the classroom, and you would have each person in the classroom whisper it in their ear. And by the time it gets through 30 people, you have it saying something else by the time they get done with it. That's just what the news does. It puts out false news, fake news, is what it says. It's not the truth. It's not the truest form of news there is. And even in translation, you get different translations for different words, so different people hear about the different things and hear it in a different light and see it in a different way. And so they don't see the true meaning of how that person actually, what he really meant in the first place. And they can get it so totally wrong through translations that they don't see the right meaning of it at all. And get a whole different opinion of what's being said than what the person is saying in the first place. And that's a form of depleted life force. Depleted life force from not seeing the first picture. So be careful when you judge people. be careful when you make statements about people, because you're getting it through second, third forces, second through or third sources, and second, third, or fifth, or 10th sources. And you're not getting the true picture, so you're not getting the true life. Always take a person with a grain of salt. Always give him the second chance to see what he really is like. Don't listen to the rumors. Just because you think he done something in the past and because he was accused of something, it doesn't mean that he was accused of it. It just means that something might have went wrong there at one time or another. But it doesn't mean that person's wrong, and it doesn't mean the other person's wrong. It means they might be wrong. There might be a possibility of it being wrong, because they might have translated and said it wrong and understood it wrong. Or somebody might have put out something just to send out death forces to destroy that person because they don't like them. And that's not a fair life force, and that's not a fair chance for the people of the human being. Always support life force and energy and effort and strength. Even people that don't do natural are on a life force, so they wouldn't be alive. Even when they don't eat natural organic foods, they still have some life force in them, but they also have death forces and diseases that are formed in them from the food. And you take this into effect when you see different people. They got different life forces and death forces affecting them, and those are tearing away from them and making the death forces are tearing away from them and making them bad. Maybe they're not even bad at all, but the other life force that was out there saw it and took it and understand it wrong, and then took it, and maybe one person was corrupt, but then he told 100 other people out there, and he got a whole bunch of guinea people behind him, a bunch of chickens behind him, a whole bunch of sheeple behind him that followed him, thought he was corrupt, and he was lying to them all along, and he's deceived them and made them follow them and led them off to the slaughter and shot them and killed them and murdered them and genetics them and put poisons in their foods and wiped them out so he could make money in their hospitals and make more money for the people, for the hospital industry. And the whole industry, medical industry, is fed on death forces that'll wipe you out. So just think of that when you go to a medical doctor. Those forces can wipe and destroy your life. Don't just accept what your doctor is telling you, because you are an individual life force, and your body is, they got different chemicals, and not really chemicals, but they're different. How do I word this? They're different life forces. They're different life forces, and your body has different life force sources in it, and it's more powerful, and it has also death forces from the death forces that you take in. And so when a doctor's calculating and reads you out, he's just going about the different chemicals, so he's going to give you a death force, which is another chemical, and wipe you out even more. And lots of times they don't even know that they're not even doing it on purpose, because they've been just believing what they've been taught in schools. And what they've been taught in schools is wrong. They've been taught that this is the right way and this is the moral way, and they think they're doing good. But in particular, when they think they're doing good, they're not doing good, they're doing evil. They're sending out death forces, and they don't even know it, because they've been taught to send out death forces in school. So those doctors can wipe you off the face of this damn planet. And then there'd be just as more, maybe they wouldn't be pleased about it, but the head person up the top that was in for the death forces, well, they're happy because they're making all sorts of money on you as they're keeping you in death. As they're keeping you in death and disease, they're making more money off of you, and they're feeding off you like some cancer's feeding off you. the whole medical industry is nothing but a cancer, and it seeks to wipe you away. So seek those alternatives, seek those things that build up your life force and make you one more powerful energy and one more human being on the face of this planet that is going in the right direction and is protecting your life force and is being a unique, free individual that fights against tyrants and fights against those death forces that would seek to take your freedoms and your right will away from you. There are all sorts of death forces, and they are real evil. They would kill you if they could get away with it. They'd use any energy and any power to kill you and wipe you out off the face of this earth. And don't think they ain't out there. So beware and protect yourself. This is Wizard Y signing off, and have a great day and have an energized and then powerful life force.